Senate Minority Whip John Thune is with me now. Mr. Senator, you say the Democrats are so distracted with Biden's problems that important legislation is on the back burner in the Senate. Which legislation is being held up? Please don't tell me it's defense spending.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you are correct, Stuart. It is defense spending. The National Defense Authorization Act is the most consequential legislation we deal with on an annual basis. It basically lays out all our priorities in terms of our national security requirements and making sure that we're able to face any of the threats that we face, that we might encounter around the world. And that's something that we do annually, should be done in a timely way. Chuck Schumer is indicating that it's unlikely we're going to get on it. We have a couple of weeks after the convention next week where we could process it on the floor of the Senate. But right now they're focused on politics. They're focused on their possibilities of losing elections in the November election on the Senate side and on the House side. They're very worried, obviously, about President Biden and his prospects and how that impacts down ballot races. So right now, that's the principal objective of Democrats in the Senate. And so Chuck Schumer every week rolls out what we call the Summer of Schumer show votes. They're votes that are designed to help his incumbents and put Republicans in a tough political position instead of dealing with the important issues like America's national security needs.
Mr. Senator, more cracks are emerging or appearing in the Democrats' wall of support for the president. Nancy Pelosi says the decision to stay in the race is his, but but they're running out of time, presumably to find a replacement. Senate Majority Leader Schumer telling donors he wouldn't mind if there was a different candidate. Do you believe Biden, the president, at this point is toast?
Well, I think that his policies are toast. I don't think whoever they put on the ballot is going to make a difference. When you got over 20% inflation and the fact that it's costing the American people $13,000 more per year just for the same goods and services that they had to buy before Biden took office, and you got an open southern border and instability around the world, the policy and the issues are what's going to sink the Democrats in the fall election. Having said that, if I were a Democrat running in a House or a Senate that's a competitive race, I would be very panicked right now about having Joe Biden at the top of the ticket, because I think the American people the question that's in front of them right now is, if we face a global crisis, is Joe Biden the person you want in the Situation Room as your commander-in-chief? And I think that's a threshold issue that the American people are responding to, and that's why Democrats are becoming so nervous in the House and the Senate.
The press conference, which was originally scheduled for 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, has been delayed 1 hour to 6:30 p.m. We don't know the reason for this, but is there a suspicion that something's going on here and that the president is not really prepared to do a full-scale press conference, so it's delayed and delayed? What's going on here?
Good question. I think that the fact that they keep pushing this back, there's something amiss here. I keep coming back to the fact that, this presidency is all about high prices and open borders, but it is also on a basic level about competence on the world stage. And having the 75th anniversary of NATO being celebrated here in Washington, D.C. this week, clearly is an opportunity for the president to be able to show leadership on that world stage. But for whatever reason, there seems to be questions about whether or not they're going to proceed with that press conference. And I think that there are clearly a lot of questions among the American people, but I would argue also among our allies and our adversaries around the world about whether this president is up to the task.
Very important press conference tonight. Senator John Thune, thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thanks, Stuart.
Yes, sir. By the way, Fox Business will be taking Biden's press conference live, and it is now at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.